What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's get a little spicy. So, y'all know before I normally do my reviews, there's pretty much a spicy corner in almost every video now. But I had too much stuff saved in my phone as it pertains to Real Housewives of Atlanta, and this will probably be the last spicy corner for the season. So, let's get a little spicy. We get a little spicy, just a little bit. And I just have a few things I want to talk to you guys about. So first up are congratulations to Kelli. She actually did open up her second location in Sandy Springs, and she posted a video about it, and it was basically a walkthrough video. So I'll pull it up for you guys. You won't hear the sound because she had copywritten music over it, but congrats to her. She said in the second part that girl, it was coming in the summer, and it's still the summer. Okay, it's hot as I don't know what outside. Okay, but it's definitely the summer. But let's get into her Instagram post. It says, she said, it's been a long road, but we made it. I'm beyond proud to announce that at Nana's Chicken and Waffles in Sandy Springs is officially open for business 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. What makes it even sweeter is knowing I made it happen on my own. This isn't just another location. It's a symbol of growth, hustle, and heart. Here's to expanding my empire, building Nana's legacy for my 4 beautiful girls. A mommy did it. And then she has the actual what's it called? The address to the new location. And then the last statement is P.S. Someone tag at Bravo Andy and tell him I invested in the waffles. And then in parentheses, she has love you, Andy. So again, congratulations to her because she said this on the reunion that it was going to be ready in the summer. And baby, it's the summer and it's here. Okay. It didn't take her 5 or 6 seasons. She got it off the ground. So that tells me that a lot of the financial trouble she was probably having was due to her divorce with her husband, to be honest, okay? So let's move over to Ralph. Girl, why did Ralph release a song? I'm gonna play like a 5-second clip of it, but I think the name of the song is called I Wish or something, or You Need to Move On. Girl, it sounds just as nasally. I said
on myself, but I wish you well, wishing you well.
What in the Tyrese? Well, no, I'm not gonna play it. Like Tyrese is an unhinged Capricorn man. He is. He really is. But I can't hate on the voice. I cannot hate on Tyrese's voice. But I was just like, what is this? What is this? And Ralph really think he doing something. Ooh, Drew. This is why you got to be more cognizant of who you lay down with. Because, oh my gosh, to be stuck with a Ralph is ugh. Ugh. I feel for her. So let's talk about Kenya. Because Kenya. So unfortunately, Kenya let it be known that she will not be returning for season 17 of Real Housewives of Atlanta, and it hurt my heart. But let me play that video for you.
Will I be a part of the cast? As of now, no. That could change. I keep hearing a lot of different things. You know, we have been in talks. But as of this moment, it's a no.
So like I said, this hurt my heart because you can tell that Kenya wants to be a part of season 17. But what she did caused her to get into a lot of trouble, and the network is probably weary of allowing her to be on the next season because they're still dealing with this lawsuit or not lawsuit with Britt Eady. I think they're waiting to settle all of that stuff right there, and then they will probably bring her back on or maybe have her on a different show in a different capacity. But you could definitely tell that this probably was not the way that Kenya wanted to leave the show. She probably wanted to leave the show on her own terms like Kandi did, you know? And it's also kind of crazy how much Kenya had things to say about the way that Nene left, and you subsequently kind of left the same way she did, in the sense of like they fired you or they put you on pause. Like it wasn't you walking away from the show with your head held high, you know? But I was interested in seeing her interact with this group without Britt. Because you could tell at the beginning of the season, Kenya was on a different type of like wavelength, in my opinion. It seemed like she was definitely trying to like rise above it, you know, or is it fly above it? I don't know, whatever song Candy did. But it definitely seems like she didn't want to get into the mix with people. She just wanted to like enjoy her time and kind of coast for the season. And then this situation with her and Britt happened. But I was interested in seeing her interactions with Kelli and Angela. I was wondering, like, would she develop friendships with them? Because it seemed like it was happening, or would they down the line get into it? You know, I feel like Angela and her maybe could go toe to toe. I don't know about Kelli if it comes to like a verbal sparring match. Then I was also wondering, how would she feel about Drew now that Drew is cool with Portia? It seems, or they're like at a neutral place, and you know, Drew and Kenya are very friendly, or probably would consider themselves friends with each other. And you know, I also wanted to know how she would feel about Shamea, because I do remember Kenya saying on her show that Portia definitely didn't want Shamea to be a part of the show, and is that a friend, like a real friend? So I wonder if Shamea would lean on Kenya, or if Kenya would take the route of like, girl, I told you so, because maybe they've had conversations. I wasn't too interested to see her interaction with Phaedra, because I don't care about Phaedra like that. But I was interested to see her interactions with Portia, because I'm going to play that clip for you guys in a few minutes, of where Kenya basically said in that live that Portia was lying. And this is coming from the Bravo Shade Room. It says, Kenya makes it clear Portia's claims are false. She did not get Britt Edie's information for Drew or any current housewife. So I was wondering if Kenya would address this situation with Portia, or with the relationship that they were trying to build just kind of like cease to exist. And I was more specifically interested in seeing how she would react with Cynthia, because also in this live, and I thought I downloaded the video, but I didn't, she talked about her relationship with Cynthia. Basically, Kenya said that I distanced myself from Cynthia, and it has nothing to do with the Britt Edie situation. Granted, she felt like Cynthia could have handled it a different way, but Cynthia is entitled to her opinion. She basically said that Cynthia did something that broke her trust, and I guess she revealed some type of information to someone, and it got back to Kenya, or maybe she confronted Cynthia about it, and Cynthia made it seem like she was doing it for like what was best for Kenya and for the group, or like for them as a friendship. But Kenya feels like, no, you did what was best for you, and it had nothing to do with me. She also wants Cynthia to stop talking about her in interviews. And she said that Cynthia lied about when she stopped talking to her. She said her and Cynthia were still communicating through text after the Britt Edie situation, until she found out about this situation. So I most definitely would have been interested in seeing how their friendship played out. But let me play that clip of Kenya pretty much saying that what Portia said about Drew giving her that information was false.
That, in fact, I told the world where I got the information from. It was from an investigation. And I have never once in my life said that I got the information from any person that is known on Real Housewives of Atlanta. So it was just very bizarre. I found the whole thing to be very bizarre. And like literally she was fighting me on the phone for like a good 25 minutes saying that, that I did say it to her. I was like, I would have no reason to say it to you because it's completely false and untrue. And the one thing I saw that she said, that Portia said that on her YouTube live in teasing that a current housewife had given me the information. They did not. I actually called Portia and I was like, Portia, why are you saying that? She was like, no, you did. You told me you got it from Drew. I was like, first of all, I never told you that. And the one thing I just thought I was in an alternate universe talking to her, because I was like, girl, I have never said that to you. The one thing that you don't have to remember is the truth. If you always tell the truth, you don't have to remember lies.
I believe what Kenya is saying. And the reason why is Portia threw it out there that Drew gave Kenya some of that information, but Portia also threw out there that some of the pictures that were shown were of Britt as a minor. So you're trying to implicate Kenya in having CP, which is dangerous. Anybody that has that stuff is fucking evil, okay? Evil. And so I'm just like, Do you have proof of that? Because that is a crazy and a serious accusation to throw out there against somebody. And I will say this, Kenya has been true to keeping up with the same story, because when that came out, I remember seeing Kenya in the comments saying, that's not true. Drew never gave me any information. And my other reason of why I believe Kenya is, Portia is not specific with what information was given to Kenya. Okay? No, I think she did say it was the explicit photos or the explicit information, because I think people forget that Kenya had multiple poster boards. I remember a screenshot that I used to have in my iPad, but I think I threw it, like I deleted it out my folder or something like that. But it was of like someone had taken a picture of one of the poster boards and it said insurance fraud hoe, where Kenya was going to talk about Britt Eady's business. Then another poster board had like a Snapchat DM that allegedly Britt and Yo Gotti had a conversation where I remember people talking about, Kenya said, you can hear it was like audio going around of Kenya saying, you told Yo Gotti to Snapchat me that pussy for like $1,200. And I think Kenya was like, not only are you a hoe, but you a cheap hoe. So I was like, so what information? Because even that poster that says, who is this hoe? The pictures that are blurred out were not illicit pictures, or not illicit, but explicit pictures. They were just different photos of Britt Eady before she got her nose job and her lips full. Like her nose was bigger and like her lips were kind of thin a little bit, you know? So I was just like, if you're gonna say Drew did it, what information do you have to prove like that she did it? Because Portia can never explain like, oh, I heard this from so-and-so, or so. It's just like, oh, well, I heard this, and it's just like, that's the rumor, but I need more evidence before you implicate somebody with something that serious. So I've never believed Portia when it came to that. So moving on, and the last thing I want to talk about is Kenya letting it be known that we're supposed to get 2 new housewives, and one of them is supposed to be from Love and Hip Hop, and another one is supposed to be a prominent restaurant owner in Atlanta.
The upcoming Brooklyn, I go out of the room with that and shut the door, honey. So I do know that they're adding 2 new housewives to the team. They're adding 2 new housewives, and I think you guys kind of know them both. They're both like known people. One is a business person she's a restaurateur, and the other one is actually, you know how we always say, oh, you know, it's giving Love and Hip Hop. The other one is actually from Love and Hip Hop. So yeah, there's that. There's that.
So when I saw this, I was like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm gonna be honest. I think this live that Kenya did was done strategically, mainly because she let it be known that she wouldn't be returning for season 17. But even when she was speaking, she said something to the effect of like she's in negotiations or they're still talking. I feel like she wanted to prove to the network that like I am still valuable, because a lot of people, including myself, got online to express their like frustrations or how upset they were that she was not going to be a part of season 17. On top of that, Kenya letting it be known that there's supposed to be a Love and Hip Hop person, as well as a famous like restaurateur from Atlanta on the cast, really kind of, it gave people the ability to critique what was supposed to be happening on this show, because a lot of people were unhappy, and I was one of them. I'm not gonna lie, I like my show segregated, okay, separate, you know. Church and state is separated in this household, okay? Because when I want to watch MTV, VH1 type of content, I will go to MTV and VH1 and watch it, okay? I ain't no stranger to that type of stuff. I used to love watching Love and Hip Hop back in its like golden days. Like, I remember the first seasons, like the first couple of seasons of Love and Hip Hop and how good they were, okay? You know, I remember Jocelyn taking that pregnancy test in the bathroom, okay? And K. Michelle being like, you shaking the tables. So, like, I used to love and Hip Hop now, but not no more. And I don't want to see it on Bravo, okay? Also, if I want to watch Bravo, I come for Bravo content. Same when I go watch WeTV. I know what I'm getting on WeTV. Okay, it's either the Braxtons, Love After Lockup, Love During Lockup, or, you know, Life After Lockup, or I'm watching Mama June's Not the Hot. Okay? That's a certain type of demographic over there, all right? So it's like, keep my stuff segregated. Okay, and at the time we didn't know who they were saying that was suggested to be on the show, but all that came to mind was Kirk and Rashida. And I said, if y'all put Kirk and Rashida on Real Housewives of Atlanta, the way that I will storm NBC Universal, okay, like them people at the Capitol, because what are we doing? You do not. Okay, what's crazy is before this information was released, one of my friends actually she sent me like a DM on Instagram, and it was a video of Rashida like putting her hair in a bun. And when I tell you that lady looks tired, and I'm not saying tired in the sense of like old age and she's gracefully aging. She looks drained. Okay, the hair was thinning, and I said that man is stressing her out, and I will not be subjected to watching that. Okay, not doing it. Bravo. But then we found out that it's supposed to be K. Michelle and this lady named Pinky Cole. The Neighborhood Talk released this information saying that it was supposed to be K. Michelle and Pinky Cole who are auditioning to be a part of season 17. Now, if you don't know who Pinky Cole is, she is the owner of Slutty Vegan. Now, I'm going to be honest. I have not heard positive things about that establishment or her. Okay. I heard that her family does give back to the community, but I've heard people chastise that as well. Because on the side of TikTok that I was on, there was a couple of people who allegedly were her employees, and they were speaking very negatively about how they run that business and treat their staff. So if it's true, girl, I don't know if you want to come on this show, because they definitely are itching to expose the treatment that they allegedly face at the hands of your establishment, okay? And I also remember hearing the thing about what happened at Spelman. If you don't know, Slutty Vegan was at Spelman, but a lot of the girls there and boys, because I think Morehouse, like, boys goes over there to get food and vice versa, because the campuses are so close. But basically, they had to get rid of the restaurant because nobody wanted to pay the prices. They were charging like regular prices to college students. Normally when there's a chain restaurant at a actual college, they discount the prices for the students. And honestly, if you can't pay with it with like the money you get from school, because every school has, like, I know at my school we had Aggie bucks that, you pay, you swipe your card and call it a day. If I can't pay with that on campus to get food, then I don't want it. Because eventually even the chain restaurants' food becomes school food, and I don't want to pay that much for school food. Girl, I'm already giving you tuition money, all right? But yeah, she's supposed to be on this show, and then K. Michelle. Let me tell you this before I get my critique. I like K. Michelle. I'm excitedly waiting for her country album because I feel like, it's about to be amazing because she's so passionate about it. And she had this one song on her latest album, I think it was called like Tennessee Honey or something like that, and it's on my phone. I love that song. And also, Can Anybody Buy a Heart was my album. Mind you, wasn't in a relationship, hadn't broken up with nobody, but Miss You Goodbye, the way I built that song with my chest, okay? Oh, well, I needed love. Girl, singing my heart out, all right? But I don't want K. Michelle on this show. Like, I feel like we've seen so much of K. Michelle. We know who K. Michelle is. I feel like you don't need to be on this show. You are K. Michelle, okay? I feel like once K. Michelle drops that country album, it's probably going to have the Beyonce effect, because I think it's going to be that good where it's like, you don't need to be on a reality show anymore. You've already done it. We saw you on the Queen's Court recently, and girl, you didn't even seem like you was into that. This ain't your ministry no more. Let somebody else have it. That's not a part of Love and Hip Hop, okay? So I'm not interested. Maybe Pinky. I don't know. But whatever Bravo gives us, I'll determine whether I want to see it or not. All right, so the last thing we're going to talk about is Shamea's apology video. So Shamea posted this like hour-long video of like how she felt about season 16 and like just her overall thoughts. And at the end of the video, she apologizes. Now, mind you, the only clip that I saw being circulated on Twitter was just the apology part. I did not know that it was like an hour-long video. And so today, it was recommended to me on YouTube, Bonnie Scotch's video. So I'll put her information on the screen, but she did like a watch along. She was reacting to the video and like talking to her followers because she did it live. And honestly, I don't think I would have been able to watch that video if I did, like, or get the gist of Shamea's YouTube video had I not watched Bonnie Scotch's video. Because when I tell you, I was cringing the entire time, and I was like, Shamea, like, why? Why? Like, why? Okay? So let me play the apology, and then I'll give you my thoughts.
With that being said, my elders and my family, they never steer me wrong. So I just want to start by saying to all the ladies on Sweet 16 cast, starting with Portia, Drew, Angela, Britt, Kenya, Cynthia, Kelly. I'm sorry. And if I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Phaedra even coming in at the end. I'm sorry if I've ever offended you, if I've made you feel less than, inferior, if I insulted you, hurt you, in any way. I'm sorry. And I hope that we can start fresh. And I wish you nothing but the best. And that prayer, I hope it leaves this room and enters into your heart and your household. And that's a wrap on Sweet 16.
I told y'all Shamea corny. I told y'all I thought that lady was corny to me. That was so embarrassing and cringy. Like, all Shamea did in that whole entire video is victimize herself. Anytime she brought up like shade and things of that nature, she was like, oh, but it was light shade. You said it was light shade, but that doesn't mean they felt like it was light shade. And then they could say the same thing, what I said was light shade. But girl, like, I was just so... And then what really took me out is when she had her mom, and I think that lady was like her cousin or aunt or just a family friend, like speaking life into her, as we say in church, and then praying over her. And the way her mama was rocking back and forth, I was like, girl, y'all are typical church people. Passive aggressive and mean, where it's like you don't want to say it. And the thing about it is, I come from church people, like that is my family on both sides, but I come from church people that will say what they mean and mean what they say, and then bless you at the same time. Like, there's no hiding behind the word and saying that I'm the light and I'm the salt of the earth and all of that stuff. It's always like they will say what it is and mean what they say. And I'm like, Shamea, you purposely left this in to dog whistle to certain people, and that's sad. And it's lame because why, bro? Like, you had a bad season, and all this tells me is Shamea is not cut out for this, as well as she is really struggling with the fact that people now see her in a different light. She's no longer the underdog. She's no longer a victim of Portia. And that's not to say that Portia isn't a bad friend to Shamea, but now people are like, oh girl, you got some stuff in you too. Like, it's no longer, oh, Portia, Shamea, Portia just does Shamea wrong all the time. It's giving, girl, y'all are the same, two birds of a feather flock together, basically. Because this was so lame, Shamea. It was so lame. And she was like, the elders never steered me wrong. Oh, but they did. Because you would have been better off just being quiet. Like, the episode is over. The season is over. We would have forgot about this by the end of the week. Now everybody's talking about how uncomfortable and how lame your video was. Learn to shut up.